Come on, let's go outside. Let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see. A big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk. Hi, folks, and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker, and I'm here with Lisa Crandall. How are you?
Good, Pat. Thank you.
And you've brought your beautiful little dog, Piper. Now, Piper looks very young. She's an Aussie, obviously, but she looks young. How old is she?
Piper's 21 months old.
Okay, well, she is pretty young. So what do you do with Piper? Tell me about her.
Piper is a beginner agility dog. She requires a lot of attention
Well,
and
she
exercise.
is an Aussie, you know. These dogs are wonderful dogs and, you know, bred to herd, bred to be alert. The energy level is out the kazoo. There is no doubt about that. But they do make great dogs and super family dogs. So how long have you had her? You say you got her from a baby.
Yes, we've had her she's 21 months old.
Yeah, so you got her, you told me, as a birthday present?
Yes, she was a birthday present.
Well, how neat is that? So your kids were grown and you didn't have anything to do, so you needed an Aussie.
I did.
Which is a lot to do. There is a lot to take care of an Aussie because their metabolism is fast. They are great dogs for sports and that sort of thing. Have you ever done any barn hunting with her?
I haven't.
That would be an excellent sport. Or, you know, the way that she looks like she is bred, she's a very well-bred dog, as a matter of fact. You want to get up here, Poopy? There you go. There you go. So, you know, a friend of mine, Sue Abrams, actually works with teaching dogs how to herd and all. That might be a great thing for her.
I'm sure she would love it.
Yeah, and it is a good sport, too. So we have made your dog the dog of the week.
Thank you.
And you the handler of the week. And I'm going to really stir her up because I have got some things to play with here that probably she would love to see. If I can get one of them going, we'll just be very quiet. Whoa! What happened? What happened here? What happened there? Yes, sirree. What is that? And look at this. Piper, look at, oh, that is something you can really play with. What is that? Look here. You want that? Yes, she says, I do, Pat. I do want that. She loves that. Look at that.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And I have $100 here for you.
Oh, thank
Spend
you.
any way you want to spend it. Hopefully you'll spend it on this precious pup.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And thank you so much for coming to see us, Piper. You come back, okay? And I want to find out how successful you are at your agility hunting. That is just excellent. Those trials are so much fun, doing that sort of thing. And, you know, as I say, with this dog, as energetic as she is, I would kind of expand her, you know, sports events. Folks, these Aussies are great. They're kind of like a Jack Russell, though you have to be a special person to have them because they are high energy. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Marianne Rollins and her daughter Renee are here. They've been to Europe, and we're going to find out how dogs are treated in that other country.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
So, Renee and Marianne, you all took a trip.
We sure did.
You went to Europe. Where did you go?
We went to Germany and we met some of our family. It was really fun, and we traveled all over Germany. And
I know when you had told me you were going, I said, be sure and take some pictures of dogs, because I know in Europe it's a little different. Every dog, you know, and there's so many of them, every household has a dog. But they take them into town, they take them into restaurants. They are really the basic family kind of thing. And so it was so wonderful. So you brought me some pictures back, did you?
Oh, yes, we did.
Okay, well, can I see them?
Of course.
Okay. Now you had told me you had written some things down, so you know, just feel free to study that if you will.
Okay.
So let's see some.
Well, we started out in Germany, and I went with my grandmother and my mom. My grandmother is from Germany, and I wanted to learn more about her life and meet her family. And we started in Berlin at the Brandenburg Gate, and we saw sights from the Neuschwanstein Castle. We went to Munich's historical town and its famous Glockenspiel. And we went to the very, very small farming village in southern Germany where my grandmother's brother's family is from, and where I met all of my cousins. And it was just so beautiful that my mom could not stop taking pictures, but it was great. And the small towns are so pretty with their red tile roofs and everything. But I mean, I just kept seeing dogs everywhere. They were honestly just everywhere I looked, I saw a dog. And I expected to see a lot of German Shepherds and Dachshunds, but we saw a ton of pugs, French Bulldogs, and Jack Russells. The Germans, they really love their dogs, and they say that their dogs are better behaved than their children, which I think is true. But and they were always out and about in the park, spending time with their dogs. But a sad thing to me is the German government has banned pit bulls, Staffordshire Terriers, and English Bull Terriers, and they have prohibited cropping of dogs' tails and docking their ears, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
And dogs are allowed almost everywhere. You could not eat, drink, or smoke on the subway, but you could bring your dog. They were allowed in restaurants and were so well behaved that many times we did not notice that there was a dog under the table until the people got up to leave.
I love it.
And I mean, they were just so well behaved that it shocked me. But we noticed this dog because he was ginormous.
This is my favorite picture from the trip. This is in a train station in Berlin, and they were waiting so patiently for the dad to buy a treat at the bakery there.
And the dog is waiting patiently.
I know, look at him.
And the dogs were allowed in the outdoor markets in Munich, and there were signs for sausages made especially for the dogs, which I thought was great.
Oh, and then we found these really cool collars. They're made of raw amber from the Baltic Sea. They look glamorous, but they're natural, chemical-free flea and tick collars. And the amber creates a magnetic field when it rubs against the dog's fur, which deters the bugs, and supposedly lasts for several years.
I have heard that.
Yeah, and we started noticing dogs in all of the architecture, in the balcony railings and the decorations around doorways and in statues.
Oh, yeah, because dogs have been facilitators for the Germans.
We went to Nymphenburg Palace in Munich, which was very interesting and beautiful.
There were paintings of the king with his hunting dogs. There was even a hunting lodge on the castle grounds that was so incredibly fancy for a so-called man cave.
Yeah, everywhere. The painters, old masters, put them in everything.
And this is Sanssouci Palace in Potsdam, and it had amazing landscape gardens.
The king was buried on the palace grounds, but not with his queen. He was buried with his 7 favorite dogs.
I love it. I love it.
And this is Schloss Ambros in Innsbruck, and it is famous for its portrait gallery.
We ran into these 2 very, very friendly huskies that I absolutely loved.
And while we're admiring the portraits, we just started noticing that the majority of them had a dog in them with the person. And back in these days, when you had your portrait painted, you might include something precious to you. And as you can tell, the dogs were very precious to them.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can also tell these people are very wealthy by what they're wearing and the things in the background. And I have to say, I am extremely grateful that we no longer have to dress like that. Then we came across 2 small portraits of dogs that must have been very important to have their picture painted alone. But the most interesting painting is of a dog who is missing his front legs.
And this picture made me think of Faith.
Yes.
For sure. I miss
yes,
her.
exactly. That's exactly like that.
Now this is interesting. When we were in Berlin, we saw this ambulance. It says Hundoc, which means dog doctor. This ambulance provides free veterinary care to the large homeless youth population in Berlin and is run by Jeanette Klimt. Many of these people have dogs that they have found on the streets, and the dogs provide companionship that never judges them, as well as providing protection in their rough world.
So is that what she said to you? I love that.
Yes,
Yes, that's
and
excellent.
they'll beg for money but feed their dog first.
Oh, and this is Willie. We met him and his owner in Munich. He was an elderly and very overweight pug who was very spoiled, and I wanted to take him home with me. He was so cute.
Oh, and then we came across this street performer in the old section of Innsbruck dressed as a statue, and this is her sidekick, Fritz. He laid there all cozy, and when someone wanted to take a picture, she let out a little whistle, and he'd perk his head up and pose for the picture.
Oh, how cute
I had
is that?
so much fun on my trip and petted a lot of dogs. I proudly wore my dog talk jacket almost everywhere.
Oh,
and this is
good.
me on top of the mountain in the Alps in Innsbruck. It was such a beautiful and amazing view, but I miss my dogs a lot.
Oh, I can well imagine. Though that is so exciting, though, and thank goodness you wore your dog talk. Did anybody say what that was? Did
Yeah,
they
I
ask
actually
you?
had a few people ask me. They're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Dog Talk TV. It's American." And they're like, "Oh."
Oh, I bet they loved it.
Yeah.
So tell me about this wonderful T-shirt. Now I see this is all kinds of dogs on the back, and it's from Eskimo Joe's. Tell me about this.
Yes, I walked into Eskimo Joe's one day and I saw this shirt, and it is informing people of adopting pets from shelters, which I thought was great. And the pets on the back are actually some of the Eskimo Joe's employees.
Isn't that something?
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. So what is it? What are you going to do with this, Marion?
Oh, well, a portion of the proceeds of this go to support the Stillwater and Tulsa animal shelters, and Eskimo Joe's was so generous to give us a size large shirt to give away to a lucky viewer.
So we're going to put that on our Facebook
Yes,
page?
all they have to do is put a comment on the Eskimo Joe's post on our Dog Talk TV Facebook page, and we'll mail the shirt to the lucky winner. And remember, you can't win if you don't play. And while you're there, be sure to like us.
I love it. I love it. Well, that is so excellent of you to do. And I love the photos. Oh, gosh, they were just wonderful. What an experience.
I know, and I have a lot more if you want to see the whole trip.
Oh, I absolutely want to see it. Gosh, what fun is that? Guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Dog Talk fans, make sure you join the conversation on social media. Just go to facebook.com/dogtalktv. We'd love to hear a story of your furry friend, so send us an email to pat@dogtalktv.com. You could be featured as our Dog of the Week. Now, enjoy the show.
So our own Pat Kelly is here, and you are so artistic. Anybody who has come to the Dog Talk show will realize that Pat greets you at the door.
Yeah, make sure you've got your coffee and you know where to go.
Exactly. And beyond that, she is very creative. So you have made such wonderful bags here, Pat. Tell me about some of them.
Well, I've been having a lot of fun, Pat. I'm recently semi-retired, and sewing is my latest addiction. And I am making, this is an example of a bag I made. Now, they don't know it yet. The Central Oklahoma Golden Retriever Club has their big show in November. So I've made them a bag that has a golden on it. And then this
Excellent.
little bag over here has goldens.
Look at
so
that.
I'll be donating these to the show.
Exactly.
And then here's a little, it's called a hipster. It's a little purse that you can put over your shoulder.
I love
It's got
it.
a little zipper.
Yes,
little
you
pocket on
gave
the
me
back.
one, and I put my cell phone down
and
in
it
it.
says, I love dogs, which
I
of
love-
course is perfect.
Exactly.
Do you probably see a theme here? Even
Ah,
though it's
yes.
the Dog Talk show, all of my material is pretty much dogs. So
they are
been having a lot
wonderful.
of fun with it.
I love this one. This one, this should be a Neiman Marcus. That is just gorgeous.
This is my most recent, and it's probably my most favorite. It just, I love the
Oh,
bright
it's mine too.
colors, and
It's just excellent.
it's got little pockets inside, and so
Oh,
I'm
they
just
are so
having so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. And put your cosmetics down in these. I've got one that it works so well. So if someone wanted to purchase one of these, how would we do
like
that?
I said, I have an Etsy page now,
Yes.
and it's not real active, but I have the address is Etsy. Let's see, I don't have my glasses on, but I think I can do this. Etsy.com/shop. Pretty much, if you go to Pat's Work and Company.
Yes,
and
Pat's
type
Work
in
and Company.
Etsy, and you can pull it
Perfect.
up.
How perfect.
And I've not yet taken special orders, but
That'd
give
be
me a
the way to
call.
do it.
Yeah, I can
then
give it
you'd
a
have
try.
a custom one.
There you go.
Oh man, that would be excellent.
But I'm just having a ball with it and having so much fun. And I really like donating them and some rescues. I've done some things for rescue.
Excellent.
And so we're
Well,
helping out with that.
it's we love you and love that you're
Thank
with us
you.
here at Dog Talk. We get a lot of different people calling in or emailing me, or I'll meet them on the street, and they have questions all the time. So occasionally I do like to answer some of their questions. And if you may, I will take this moment to address one of the issues, because a lot of people say to me, Pat, I'm really having a trouble walking my dog, but mainly I can't get him to get in his collar or his halter. He messes around and he jumps around, and the main thing that's happening is somewhere this dog has gotten a negative message. And collars, to me, Pat, to tell you the truth, are great for identifying your dog with the tags. Otherwise, I like halters, I like head collars and things like that. Now, this dog that messes around, that jumps around while you're trying to put on its collar is saying to you, I'm anticipating something negative here. So if I don't hold still and you pop me or touch me or hit me or yell at me or
grab at them,
yes,
scare them.
And then that scares them, so that the next time that dog, when you come with a collar or you try to take its collar, is getting jittery. So recently, I asked my friend Brenda Aloff, who everybody knows is an international
Brenda,
trainer.
just amazing.
I said, help me with this, because I try to tell people, and she says, I've got some video that you'll enjoy about this, Pat.
I can't wait.
So I said, send it to me. I'm using it. So you want to see it?
You bet.
It explains
Brenda
it all.
Aloff is amazing.
Oh, she is. Let's watch this.
Collar touches are really important to systematically teach your dog. For many dogs, people reaching forward over their head or from a frontal position and grabbing the collar is absolutely entirely unnerving. Dogs have pretty good reasons for this, really, because people grab dogs and haul them or even jerk them around, and they use that collar grab before or during a punishment. To the dog, this comes to mean, hey, if somebody comes up and grabs my collar, more often than not, it's bad news. So I want you to understand that during these exercises, I want you to remain neutral, I want you to remain calm, I want you to get to the point where restraining your dog is that relaxed. You know, I just grab Zazu and I can put her into positions and she'll just stay there because she doesn't assume that when I touch her, it's going to be painful or it's going to hurt her in any way. So she can be very relaxed with it. That's what I want you to have with your dog. I want you to have a dog that feels really comfortable with you. Basically, you're going to hold your dog's collar with one hand. With your other hand, you're going to rub your dog all over. You're going to use a flat hand and a pretty firm touch. You need to be present. Begin with the benign area that's easily accepted by most dogs, such as the rib cage and back along here. Do not stop rubbing the dog all over until two things happen. First of all, I want the dog's feet to stop moving. They need to be still. In addition, once the feet are still, at least one of the following must also be present. The dog licks his lips. He blinks his eyes. He takes a deeper breath, or his feet are still for a count of 5. They could even yawn. Anything that shows you that the dog is going to be calmer. You need to stop the rubbing when the dog is calmer. So when you've got that, stand up. As you've been bending over the dog, count to 2 or 3, and then begin another repetition of the exercise, using well-tolerated areas of the dog's body. Eventually, you should be able to rub the dog's legs, their face, you should be able to pick up the feet, and your dog should not ever say to you, that's a no-go area. As a goal, I want you to be able to begin rubbing the dog's body and have the dog immediately stand still and relax. You will know the dog is getting it when he stops moving his feet almost as soon as you begin rubbing his body or your hand touches the dog's collar. Now the behavior is at last useful. You can get your dog to be still and relax whenever you need to. Better yet, you've conditioned your dog to stop moving his feet when people lean over to touch him, to pet him. The way you touch with your flat hand and a firm touch is important. Touch the dog like you wish them to notice that an event is happening. Don't be spidery. I found that dogs much prefer a firm, deliberate touch than a light, spidery touch. I think about exerting about as much pressure as if I were rubbing the dog's body while holding a 1 or 2 pound weight and allowing that to just rest on the dog's body. If the dog is particularly hectic when you begin, allow him to move, but not forward. Keep your feet within a small imaginary circle about the size of a turkey platter. To do this, you will be allowing the dog to move if he wishes to do so, because all that adrenaline has to go somewhere. But you'll be turning in a small circle so as to remain with your feet on your platter. This will allow the restive dog to move a little bit, get rid of that adrenaline, but will restrict the movement enough so that he will slow down. It's okay to encourage the dog to stop, but do your darndest to allow the dog to make this decision on his own. He will eventually drift to a stop when he realizes that you are both turning in small, tight circles, okay? Dogs are quick to recognize a lack of progress.
Boy, I'll tell you what, she has some great knowledge there. And I see it so much, Pat, so it's a good thing that we kind of relate this, and maybe some people will get the
And it is so
understand
nice to get your dog accustomed, because like if your dog happens to get out and you want it to come to you, if you can reach for it and
That's
it doesn't,
right. It won't be
just
afraid.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to meet Jan Savage. She's from Frontier City. They're having an event over there.
Oh, what fun.
Oh, absolutely.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
Well, if this looks like Halloween, it's because Jan Savage is here with us. And Jen, tell me now, you're from Frontier City. You're having a contest in a week or so.
Yes.
For Halloween, and it's a dog contest.
A puppy parade and pet costume contest.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot.
So are you going to be a judge?
I hope so. We're trying to find judges, but it'll be
Yes,
fun.
excellent. Well, McKenna and Renee are here because they did our Halloween show, which in about a week we're going to be showing that. And it was so much fun. And so Frontier City, how do you get into that contest?
So you have to go online and buy a ticket, and you can use the promo code DOGGY, D-O-G-G-Y. And then once you get to the park on Saturday, you will come to the Starlight Amphitheater, which is our concert area, and that's where you'll sign in and register.
Fantastic. Well, in a week or so, we're all going to be there. And we have a little bit of a treat for you, for our Halloween show is coming up. And so next week, we're going to be showing that. And we thought we'd give you just a little tease to see it. You want to do that? Would you like to? Yeah. Okay, let's roll it.
Well, well, look at the laid-back ladies lounging languidly. Overworked, are we? I doubt that.
Water! Stop. I knew you'd be dropping by. It's Halloween time.
I bet you have no one to celebrate with in your world, right?
Aww, you're totally wrong. I have tons of very close, well, maybe not very close, but I have very friendly acquaintances. In fact, that's why I'm here. I've been instructed by the Witches' Council to summon our new members, that would be you, to welcome you into our world so that if you show up unannounced, they'll know that you are one of us.
I have mixed emotions about that.
Oh my gosh, how exciting is this? Now that we actually have our powers, can we learn how to use them?
Of course. Be prepared to experience the feeling of power!
Let's go! Let's go!
Well, you're going to change, I hope.
Right, we can't go in casual attire.
Well, since we have these powers, can we choose our dresses?
Of course. As long as you keep it formal.
Formal?
Yeah, you know. Elegant. Expensive. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types of wear all day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their mitts. Putting on the Ritz. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and narrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types of wear all day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their mitts. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz.
You cast a spell. You cast a spell on. You cast a spell on me. Why? I never did anything to you. You didn't do to me. Me. You ran around. You put me down. You played games I didn't see. It should have been. It could have been a game that ended differently. I thought that we were two of a kind, but now I've changed my mind totally. It's up to you, do what you do. My power is strong, I can out-magic you. Go, though, you're no longer my hero. You're just a pretender, a warlock, a zero. You cast a spell, you cast a spell on. You cast a spell on me.
I talk to animals because I can see. Animals are trying to talk to me. They don't speak the language, but hey, I find that animals can absolutely read my mind. Birds and rabbits and cats and dogs, horses and cows and snakes and frogs, mice and gerbils and chickens and hogs. Unbelievable dialogues. So talk to animals and you'll see that animals are special, just like you and me.
So this is just a little bit portion of what you're going to see on Halloween. That's next week, and we're so looking forward to it. Had a great time, didn't we, guys? Oh my gosh. So, Jan, we look forward to going out to Frontier City. It's going to be super, super duper.
Yes.
So we will see you, and that actually is today.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to it. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you later.